start with a little bit of mumbo jumbo for the first few seconds, because sometimes I notice on the playback it'll cut off the verse, 15, 30 seconds. So I haven't been on in a little while, and I guess I'll spend this time to briefly review sort of what's on this channel. I have the big 144 series where we're covering all the sun, moon, and rising combinations, which would be, I believe it's 1,728 different combinations. So when people say, well, you can't just base it on the day that I was born. No, it goes off the location, the time, the whole wheel, and that's, the primaries are your sun, moon, and ascendant. And that's for another video. I should do just a basic video rundown of those, although I feel like I've done it in other videos. So with that being said, then we also have the Celebrity Synastry series, which lately I've been just coming on and doing the lives like these periodically as Celebrity Synastry. So in the first few videos, like the Kardashian one, I was talking really slow in that one, but I go over how to do it all in the actual database, or I think, yeah, so there's many different ways to look up the synastry. So if you want to figure out a really good way is some of those earlier celebrities. I believe there's a playlist of them on the channel. So the ones that I've done lately are just live and I just go over the aspects. But I did do those first few to show you how. And, today I'm going to tag at the top of the video how there's quick little 1-minute tutorials on divinetimingdatabase.com, how to look up a natal chart, look up a synastry chart, and all of that. So after the playback, I'll pin it in the comments and put it in the description, those little 1-minute videos. But basically I want to get on today to just sort of talk about fundamental astrology compatibility based on my theories and about divinedatabase.org. So it's now fully automated. Before I had built the .com site, which you guys can use, and you can go build your own database, but I was doing it manually in there. It's still somewhat semi-automated, but I have to replug all your charts in and all of that. So now I have it where it's fully automated. You can just go and submit at divinetimingdatabase.org, put in your birth data info. It's sort of like a backup hard copy in case anything ever happens to the main database. We can still rebuild and have all the information. If you've already submitted to divinetimingdatabase.org and you put your birth info in, then please do email divinetimingdatabase@gmail.com, and the subject line is previous registration, so you can get instructions because you've already been input into the new auto database, and so you can get your temporary password and reset it there by emailing admin there. That's just the easiest way to do that right now. If you go and you re-register with just make sure at the minimum that you use your username that you used when you signed up. And that's the thing is well, anyways, actually, if you just log in at divinetimingdatabase.org, go to the login, there's instructions on how to set all that up. So that's just for you previous registrations, but we'll also keep an eye on it for you manually. So with that being said, yeah, also we're adding celebrities into the database now. Now you can look up celebrities birth charts and dates on Astro Theme is a pretty good source, and it tells you the credibility. We kind of talked about that on the last synastry video. Who did I do again, you guys? Oh man, they kind of all blur together. I do it so last minute. I'm like, okay, I have to talk about these two today. So I don't even remember the last celebrity synastry video that we did. It was a week ago. And yeah, I can't remember who it was, you guys. So with that being said, I lost my train of thought. I'm live. So I'm just going to go over the 3 main components and theories that divinetimingdatabase.org is based on. So eventually you'll be able to see the dual cosmodine scores, and you can actually see it if you go to, if you get a match and you go to view synastry report, it shows you all the scores up there, your harmony score. Now that's the dual cosmodine score, which is another theory that Alan Edwall, who built a lot of this, he goes by. So it is interesting to note, but the way that you're matched on divinetimingdatabase.org is through these 3 functions. So first we're matching you based on your moon compatibility, and so this is based on my theories. Now, let's say you meet someone out in nature and you have an out of sign moon conjunction. For example, I get this a lot with my moon being at a very high degree Virgo and a 0 degree Libra ascendant, and my south node pretty close into Libra. I get a lot of Libra moons attracted to me, usually on that south node, that 10 degrees, but even around 0 degrees. And so this would be an out of sign moon conjunction with my moon at a high degree of Virgo, and it's a pretty tight orb. It can be like 5 degrees. I haven't generally found it to work, but it is like a very strong connection. I haven't found it to like, turn into like the kind of romantic relationship that I'm looking for with them, but I've always had a significant connection with them. So with that being said, it's not accounting for those out of sign moon conjunctions, but if you meet someone in nature that you have an out of sign moon conjunction with, especially if it's on like moons are near a significant contact like the ascendant or descendant, even the IC or the midheaven, or like in the 7th house or maybe even the 5th house, then you might want to still explore it, but the database doesn't match you on it. But I'm saying don't eliminate those people necessarily unless you have malefics, which is the next thing. So the database matches you firmly on whether your moons are in the same sign. So from 0 degrees Aries to 30 degrees Aries or of any sign, it matches you with them. So it's more, it will match you with someone who's like 20 degrees away from you in the same moon sign before it will match you with somebody who's like 3 degrees away from you in the next moon sign. Because right, it goes feminine, masculine, or it goes masculine starting with Aries, feminine, all the way to Pisces is feminine because we end there, right? And it's an even number. So with that being said, you now I'm like getting way off into these so with that being said, based on the moon compatibility theory, they have to be in the same polarity, which is masculine or feminine. So you're never going to have the same polarity with a neighboring sign, which would be an out of sign moon conjunction. Plus, he and I were actually talking about this, Alan and I. It was like same sign is so significant in so many ways. So not just talking about like a conjunction or like the orb of a trine, which is like 5 degrees or less, or a square, same sign. It doesn't really matter the orb a lot of the time when it comes to same sign. So for example, Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck, they have Jupiter square Jupiter, which is, and I should just do a celebrity synastry on them and break it apart, but here's the gist of it right here. And I might have mentioned this once before, but most of you probably haven't heard it. So Jupiter square Jupiter they have, and this indicates to me, and my mother actually has it with her current husband. They'll get together when they're younger and like get engaged. This is what happened with both of these cases. And then they'll end up getting married to other people, like breaking up, getting married to other people, and then coming back together and getting married in older age. Because Jupiter and these things have come to a fruition, maybe around, they get remarried like around the 2nd or 3rd Jupiter return, I would say. So with that being said, yeah, because it didn't happen around first before the Saturn return. So with that being said, J-Lo and Ben Affleck, they have their suns both in Leo and their moons both in Scorpio, but at very wide orbs. But I feel like it might even be almost right outside of a square from like his sun to her moon and her moon to his sun, like right outside of a 5 degree on the square there, because I would have to look again. So right there is kind of an example. So people say, oh, they won't last. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if they do last. Because it's such wide orbs with the moons and the sun conjunctions, that would be maybe why. But they don't have any malefics. Really, I think just Jupiter, square Jupiter, that them hold off to have really that true happiness and be able to really like grow and evolve. Jupiter's about expansion. Be able to really have the capacity other. So anyways, that's Jupiter square Jupiter in a nutshell. So this is going off the moons. So are they in the same sign? Are they trine? And for this, I also did trine within the same sign, so not within a 5 degree orb, because I've even seen in wide sextiles that can even be counted as squares in some instances. That as long as it's friendly signs, it works. So that's how the moons are lined up in divinetimingdatabase.org, how we match you. And then we look for, are there any malefic, deal breaker, or divorce aspects? So malefic planets are, like in Vedic astrology, are, Saturn and Mars and Pluto. Okay, so any squares with those planets, especially to each other, I usually find, you know, in divorces and breakups. I don't see, especially in squares. Once in a while, you'll see an opposition slip through, and pretty much Mars square anything is malefic. I count it as. I do have Mars and the moon as a yellow flag. So yellow flag is, for me, I used to call them red flags. So if you watch a video and it says red flag, that's the same as yellow flag. But yellow flag is more of like a cautionary aspect. Like it's going to cause you issues and challenges, and I don't see them necessarily in like the best marriages and synastry charts that I've seen. Hey Zenyas, how are you? Okay, but I do see them in functioning long-term couples. Malefics, not so much, not very rarely for very long. So, that this is what it's now automated to match you as. So if you go to divinetimingdatabase.org and you submit, then you'll go in, there's a step, you'll click it, you register, and you'll automatically, you enter your birth details. Differences in the original form for, you know, there are any kind of sexuality, pretty much, as much as we could simplify it. So like same sex or whatever is in the preferences. But for the auto search right now, it's only versus heterosexual couples. So that is something to keep in mind. So what you can do actually, and I should put something like this on the site as well, is if it's for same sex, you would just want to put your, like say you're a woman looking for women, you want to put that you're a male, and then you could run against all the women. I don't know quite how we're going to do that yet. So that's just something to bear in mind. So, you know, and also for location proximity. Right now on the auto search, it's only by continent. So you do get to put your location preferences in, like in the main form that you submit originally. And so we'll have it all notated. And when we're manually matching you, we'll be paying attention. But yeah, when you go on the auto search, it's anyone in the same continent as you. So say you're on a different continent and you want to look, you know, in America. Say you're like in Australia and you want to look in America for matches, you could just go back and re-enter your birth details and change your continent selection to United States, and you know, instead of Australia. So there's little tricks like that, and I'll get them built in. But yeah, basically it's fully automated now, especially if you're, you know, looking for a heterosexual relationship. You go in there, and if you don't mind meeting people on your continent that you have, you know, perfect moon compatibility with, no malefic deal breakers and yellow flags. And let me tell you, so that's the other way it's broken down. And I'm going to probably do a live, I'm trying to get on it this week, but maybe next week, where I actually, you know, stream from my computer and show you guys the actual screen of all of this. Oh gosh, goodness, I have my little notes here, but I lost my train of thought. So you will, oh, so it goes by best, and I put rare so that it would be a little more self-explanatory, but best rare matches are people that you have moon compatibility with, and you have no malefic deal breakers and no yellow flag aspects. So that is a very rare find. Right now it's about 1 in 500, and even, and, you know, I figured once you narrow that down, you'll probably have really good Venus and all of that. Not necessarily. So that's why right now, when you enter and you go auto match, then you'll notify, it's going to be where you can just click their contact info soon and then connect to them and chat with them automatically. But right now, I'm still leaving one step manually. I haven't plugged that in yet because I want to, for one, be able to check those location preferences for you guys, since you won't know anything about each other besides the astrology, you know, until you connect on Messenger. And for two, so that I can just double check, because, you know, I want to make sure that that chart is beautiful before you're connecting with someone, because why else waste your time on it, you know? Because there's other, you know, apps and stuff like Pattern where you can go in and kind of look at your compatibility with anyone. But I feel like that's sort of that rabbit hole that I had when I would go on Cafe and 0800 back in the day, like 20 years ago, and just reread the, you know, descriptions and interpretations over and over and over and over again. And there's so many different interpretations and descriptions, and yes, they all fall in line with each other, but my theories are based on, this is how it actually plays out in reality. This is like practical application of these different theories, right? So it's like, you know, the description can make it sound really good or really bad. I always say with Mars square Jupiter, it makes it sound like, oh, these two will kind of have a hard time getting on the same page after a while. And that, in actuality, it's like the two cannot get on the same page after a while. You know, and it can cause conflict with Mars and Jupiter, like trying to one up each other. So if you want to see that, watch the Are You Wasting Your Time video. But anyways, so this last little note that I made here, I don't even know what it is, you guys. It's like says, yeah, I wrote myself notes and I can't read them. So just to stay on topic. So I think I'll probably, you know, that was a thing I was talking about in the beginning, all the different little video series that we have on here that I need to get back to. I even have the birthday series where I was like reading out the birthday book to try to like audio book it. But I think soon I'm going to be getting on doing like daily astro oracles as well. And you guys know for astrology videos, I'm always popping on here for random different little things that I want to talk to you guys about. But if you want to run your own charts, you can go to divinetimingdatabase.com and you can build your own database in there and store whoever, and you can look it up on any internet browser in the world, you know, on your phone, on a computer, which I like because my really good software is, you know, saved to the computer. So if I want to pull up one of those charts from, you know, my friend's house down the street when they're giving me their birth time, I have to wait until I get home. But with divinetimingdatabase.com, which is a free database tool that I provide for you guys, you can just go in there and you can store everyone, and you can pull up your synastry with them, their natal, at like a click. You know, like I said, from any internet browser in the world, you know, so your information's always there at your access. And the more you get into this, so you can do that. And you could go in there and put, you know, your different love interests and family members, and you could see, you know, I actually don't have this functionality built into that part, but you can pull up the synastry chart. So you just put your ID, their ID, and it'll click a synastry PDF, and then you can scroll down, and then it does have notations. Like it'll say, like Pluto square Saturn, this is a malefic aspect, and it gives you little interpretations that I wrote. And I'm actually writing them out of my own knowledge base, so they're not even all in there yet. And those will actually be in the matchmaker one as well for divinetimingdatabase.org very soon. So with that being said, you know, there's all the different charts in there. You can look at your part. I don't know if I'm going to keep it in there, but right now you can look at like your partner's natal chart that you get matched with. Now do bear in mind that best rare matches you're going to have very few of, but best potential matches you'll have much more of. But they're still, for a lot of you, going to be better than most people that you are meeting out there on the dating market. Because when you're coming to me with these, you know, 6-month flings or 2 to 3 year flings, you are having these malefic deal breakers with these people, and you're wasting a lot of your life on them. You know, and it is, the older you get, it's like the shorter the window of, you know, the probationary period that someone has with you. But you know, I need to make a dating video soon of like red flags and stuff too, because they always cross my mind, and then I'm like, I get on here and I try to stumble through them. But you know, if you've been dating for 2 years, or you've even been living together in a relationship and it's not going towards marriage, and that's what you really want, especially if you're a female, I don't care what age you are, you need to get out. Like, that's kind of my theory. Now, if you come to me as a client and say, you know, it's been 5 years, but I really love him, I'm still going to help you through that. And that's the other thing that I kind of wanted to touch on at the beginning of the video, that I kind of wanted to get off my chest today, you guys, is, you know, I have clients that come to me for several years, and some of them, we get them pretty quickly. Usually most of my clients, we get them out of those type of relationships with those malefics and on to choosing, you know, better astrological matches and like getting out there a little more. And a lot of times they get into something better too, and they come to me for just the everyday stuff, which is great. I love it. Or if I don't hear from them for a while, it's good too. It means things are going well usually. But the thing is that when, so no, there's a few of you in here now. So when they're coming to me for all this, okay, so every once in a while I get a client that comes to me about someone and they just don't have good synastry, you know, especially if the moons aren't compatible. And I tell them, you know, this is not working. You know, moon incompatibility can work for up to 10 years, but if it's not working initially, like there's no significant 7th house or 4th house contact there, or even ascendant contact, there's not just really strong relationship fundamentals, then moon incompatibility, it's the home. You're never going to, I mean, I've even seen people have kids and they still never live together when their moons aren't compatible. So with that being said, you can still come to me. If you come to me and we do a synastry chart, you know, you can go to rotation411.com if you don't know my other platforms that I work on to order, you know, a synastry order from me with or without birth times, or order a tarot reading. And you can come to me as a client and I will go over for you, you know, the synastry. But if I tell you, you know, you're not compatible with this person, I'm trying to steer you towards meeting other options, probably recommending that you submit to divinetimingdatabase.org at that point, because then I can help you on this end, you know. And I meet lots of guys too, and like, they're, what are you up to? So it's like, it's all angles that I'm putting this out there. And we also have the affiliate program as well. So, you know, if you have a significant following that would be interested in astrology, you can, you know, say you even have 1,000 subscribers somewhere or followers, you can join the affiliate program. You don't even have to enter the database. Although there's an option when you enter to sign up for the affiliate program, but you know, it's better that way because then you can use the same email for everything. Otherwise, you have to use a different email if you don't do it when you sign up for the database. But if you're just signing up for the affiliate, just use that email and you get $1 back. So if you have 1,000 subscribers and 100 sign up, that's $100 in your pocket just for, you know, giving them the link in your affiliate code, you know. Or if you have 100,000, so because I'm just gonna keep pushing it. Hey, from France. Hey, Sunlight, Moonlight. I love your name. You know, here's another thing I always want to tell you guys. When you're listening to music, I mean, really listen, because how many songs talk about the sun and the moon? You know, I was telling my friend this, like, there's so many universal themes in music. I should make a whole video about this, or make just a side one to pull this out. But, you know, it's him, her, sun, moon, breathe. I was listing them all off to my friend one day. There's a few, you know, you, me, I. Well, I guess they're like pronouns, right? But most songs have like pronouns, or not pronouns. What would those be? You, I. Thank you. Yeah, I love your little. Okay, so okay, I just got off my little song tangent. We're getting close to Pisces season, and I have I have Venus and Mercury in Pisces, so it's very Venusian musical type stuff. I get so, like, I've been listening to music a lot more the past week or so, going through some things, but in Pisces season, it'll just be like a whole other sort of vibe where I'm just, you know, absorbed in the music for a while. So yeah, I mean, I'm pretty excited about it. If you go submit to divinetimingdatabase.org right now, you go, and then after that, you go register. Within 5 minutes, you can refresh the page and you will see if there's any matches in there already for you. So it's pretty exciting. There's just one more step and it can run while I'm sleeping, you know? So now it's going from, you know, you have to wait till you're notified by email to you can literally check right away periodically. You can, right now I would say maybe check once a week, not every day, but it's up to you, you know? And then you'll email us and let us know, the admin, divinetimingdatabase@gmail.com, and we'll connect you. But pretty soon it'll be you match, you click. But there will be additional fees for that, because we're not actually charging you for the matchmaking. We're charging you for the connecting you to chat part, for the discretion, so that you can get to know them just solely based on the astrology, you know. And then you can take your time if you want to send a photo over. So you don't even have to change your profile picture in your, you know, profile if you don't want. You can if you want, if you're more outgoing type, but you know, if you want someone to not even see you and just base it on the astrology, you know, and then maybe after a day or two of talking, or an hour or whatever, you can call each other on the messenger, or yeah, so it's pretty cool. And there's FaceTime. I actually haven't clicked it to the upgrade yet because there's not enough matches yet. But I'm like sitting here, I'm on the fence. I'm like, I should just do it. Just do it. I'm like, no, we need a little more action in there first. Sun, moon song are so beautiful. Your sun and moon? Yeah, so many songs about the sun and the moon. Or just where they throw it out there and you wouldn't notice if you're not looking for it, you know, songs that you know, that you've heard, that you sang a million times. So, you know, where are we at? 23 minutes. I wish I could read this last little note. It says private for, I don't know what the note was, but I think I'm just going to pull like a 3-card spread really quick for a little collective vibe right now. You know, this strength's been coming up a lot lately, and then the 2 of Cups the last couple days. I was kind of happy to see that. I've been getting that a lot the past couple months, where it's like, because I watch all these tarot videos all day while I'm working in between clients, because it keeps me tapped in, because the tarot is very much like a micro of the macro, you know, so it's like I can't just be drawing from my little bubble. I have to be pulling from other energies too. So other tarot readers are very much in vibe, and a lot of them give great little speeches. Like Rich Lop, I really love. He gives some really existential speeches, although he can seem to be a little pessimistic, and but he loves Aries, because he's an Aquarius, but he doesn't necessarily. I'm going to actually, I was thinking about doing like a little blog review of how I feel about all the different tarot readers, or like highlighting my favorite 20. I do have them linked on this channel, some of the channels that I watch, and then in astrology too. So if you subscribe, you can go find the channel and find the channels that I recommend. There was another one that just came to mind too. A Wolfman Experience. He's pretty cool. I got to chat with him a little bit because he's a Libra rising Aries sun like myself. But I'm not sure what his moon is. I think it's Scorpio, but I can't remember, which is compatible with my moon. But yeah, I mean, he's just cool. It's like, obviously, we're independent people that do our own thing, but we have a Libra rising, so we like to, help people with relationships. And I don't know where the esoteric comes from. If it's the Aries, maybe it's Pluto and Scorp generation, although I don't know what year he is born. So anyways, so we have the Chariot in reverse here, which is interesting because I was actually seeing the Chariot a lot today upright. So this I'm actually getting because I've been seeing it so much upright just in my own energy and the readings that I've been partaking in, that, and I might have seen it in a client reading earlier for Leo. I'm actually feeling not like things aren't progressing, but more like the brakes are being halted right now. So maybe like if there's something you really want to do tonight, it's like you have to wait until 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, or, 8 p.m. if you're on the East Coast, to get off work or something, to log out. I feel like this is kind of this energy, like this really hurried forward energy, but in reverse, it's like you gotta like hold the brakes, and you're just ready to get going there. Queen of Swords in reverse here. I actually saw this earlier with, maybe I didn't shuffle these well enough. So to me, this is saying, some of you with all this Pluto in Aquarius energy and the Sun in Aquarius, especially if you have strong air in your chart that's not well aspected to like fire or Mercury or something, you might want to really, try to be logical and patient and discerning and hold your tongue and, pick your battles right now. That's for the collective. The Lovers. So a lot of you are, it's Valentine's Day. I don't generally read the Lovers as like a love card necessarily, although it is a high-level soulmate card. It's about making a decision. It's Gemini's card and Mercury ruled. So with this being said, for a lot of you, I feel like, yeah, there's romance around you, there's partnership, but I do feel like you may be making the decisions that you're making now will, especially like with your daily habits, because Mercury, kind of like Virgo, rules the daily habits and these communication, the things you're saying to yourself, self-talk, the things, you're putting out there, because out of your mouth is what will happen. So being very mindful about that will bring you a lot of fruition and love and harmony, and balance and clarity. I'm getting, with sort of that Gemini Swords energy in the month of June. So whatever daily habits you're doing now, kind of like, it takes a little while to show. You'll really be, if you, kind of like New Year's resolutions, if you kind of don't worry about that big goal you set on New Year's, but kind of make little goals each day towards it. You're good. Right now, I felt that for the collective and a couple of clients too. You'll make big progress. Like you'll really turn around in 3 months and be like, wow, that one little thing that I did different, like I drank more water every day, and my skin just looks better, or, just little habits like that I'm getting with that Lovers card. But for a lot of you, it could be, who you're choosing to give attention to, or, accept or receive attention to from at this time around Valentine's Day. It may become, more fruitful in June. And for some of you, it may be a connection you're already in, or that you were in the past, both the Three of Cups. Some of you may be thinking over like past regrets and stuff, not seeing that you can either have a renewal with whatever connection you're in, with the Two of Cups behind him here. And I did tell you guys I was seeing the Two of Cups a lot. So this card is telling me with the Lovers, make a decision not to dwell on the past, whether it's in this current connection or, going forward into new connections. So again, divinetimingdatabase.org if you want to find a new astrological connection, especially in time for Valentine's Day. So I got the automated feature in there in time for Valentine's Day, you guys, which is pretty exciting. Like I wrote it on there the other day and then now it's on. So I'm pretty excited about it, and I cannot wait to see, Oh, and so I don't know if I said this. We're adding celebrities in there, which you can look up on Astro Theme. And the celebrity feature, you'll know it's a celebrity because under contact info, there won't be any username. It just says celeb. But it's cool because then right now, you know, you only see your matches. So for a lot of you, there aren't going to be any matches yet until you guys start getting in there, right? So as soon as you get in there and somebody else gets in there, you could be matched at any time, you know? So that's why it's like time is of the essence here, you know, because what if your person gets in there before you and then they match somebody else and then, you know, it's not quite as good as you two would have had it. I guess that's just life and fate. That's why it's divine timing, right? And I'm like, also you're planting a seed to the universe because you put that in there and then you might walk around the corner and meet your best match and they might have just entered in there too. Like life's just weird like that. You know what I mean? So, when it's meant to happen, I find usually it's quite serendipitous, you know, and everything happens for a reason, as they say as well. So, you know, I've got this strong Hierophant energy at the bottom of the deck as well. So I don't know if anybody watching here is married or a Taurus, but, you know, this is about, gosh, I don't, you know, they say it's about like rules, structure, higher religious ideals, but for me, I get more of like a ninth house energy off of the hermit, which is Sagittarius's house, or not the hermit here, the Hierophant, which is Sagittarius's house, right? But when they talk about like dogma and rules and traditions with the Hierophant, often what I'm thinking about is like ninth house stuff, right? Like Sagittarius, Jupiter stuff. But this is, you know, it's Taurus card, so I guess it's probably Venusian ruled. You know, he is the divine counterpart to the High Priestess, which is Pisces, which is sextile. So I always think of the High Priestess and the Hierophant as like Pisces and Taurus together, that kind of earthy, watery combination. So, you know, Taurus really does. Hey, oh, hey, Sandalphone. So Sandalphone, I hope I'm saying it right. Sandalphone 9 is a Taurus, so I guess this is some of your energy. I don't know if you're in a commitment right now. The Six of Pentacles, it looks like you might have something going on there, give and take. Something you're invested in. King of Wands, I don't know if it's with a fire sign. Oh, I have a crush on a Sag. Well, here's your Sagittarius, miss. So, yeah, exactly. There he is. Yes. Isn't that crazy? Did you see that? King of Wands is Sagittarius, Leo, Aries. And as soon as I'm like, is it with a fire sign? And I'm reading Sag. You guys saw me do that in real time. The Devil. There might be a little bit of an obsessive energy here. Does he feel the same? He definitely has an interest. Yeah, I've always kind of wanted to get on here and just do like collective tarot readings, but I don't know. For some reason, I'm not good at time constraints with myself. So, hey, I should write in the chat. But I appreciate your messages and encouragement. So, yeah, I mean, we have the Four of Wands here. You know, I feel like most of you are at home right now. So you left a Devil. So are you saying that quite literally, or are you saying it as like a Capricorn? Because in tarot, the Devil is Capricorn, but it's also about, see, this isn't the traditional deck, but the two little figures are down here. But in the traditional deck, they're chained together and bound, but it's like a soul tie. So it's not necessarily, like it sounds bad, but it's like an obsessive energy. It's like, it's also the Devil and Saturn rule contracts and karma. So when you're connected to somebody in this energy, it's commitment, it's longevity. It's like, you know, for better or for worse, till death do us part. That's sort of like, it's like you're not selling your soul per se, but you're turning over your soul for better or worse. Like the worst would be the Devil and the better would be like, I guess the lovers making that decision to honor that higher level soul connection, and the Two of Cups, you know, coming together in a mutual energy and partnership. Oh, Capricorn moon though. Yeah, I mean, one time I met this guy and he's like, what's my sign? What's my sign? And I go, you're a Capricorn. And he goes, I'm a Leo. And I'm like, ugh. And like, I very rarely get it wrong because usually I just know, but when they ask me, I get flustered. He goes, I'm a Capricorn rising. I'm like, yeah, I was doing that time because the way that you come off initially to people, first impression, it was the first time I ever met him. And that's usually when I guess the most. It's like, right, initially I'll know if I'm going to know. But, and he's like, my rising's Capricorn. I'm like, oh yeah, because that's how you come off to me. The Capricorn exterior was too strong. I couldn't see the Leo underneath. I'm sure once you get to know the guy, I'm sure he's a Leo. Like he was actually there, friends with a Leo that I knew. So now I know why they vibe. So anyways, this is fun. I like hanging out, but I've got to get backlogged into clients. So, you know, if you didn't hear about the database, go to the front. That's why I added the celebrity match, though, is so it's like, you know, while you're waiting for your own match, it's sort of an incentive, because you'll see all these like ads. It's like, click on this to find, or, you know, they have the quizzes, but you know, that's just so random. Like, this is legitimately the celebrities that you would match to as well. Now, they can enter, you know, if you're a celebrity and you're watching or semi-famous, you're welcome to enter. It's totally discreet. Nobody will know who you are until you get to know them and you know each other's astrology, which is pretty cool. So it's generally based on the astrology. You don't have to give up your identity. You can use an alias username, and then you tell, you know, as you go. Of course, we have a record of it, but we don't tell anyone else. So with that being said, but for the dummy accounts with the celebrities, like I said, you can look up any birth chart, but this will run it against and show you the best out of all of them. And you can click like view Synastry report, view this, and learn about it so that when you do get a match in there, you kind of know what's going on, you know? So, I mean, some of you are just going to want to find your best match and kind of have that guarantee that, you know, these astrology theories are tried and true and backed by so many astrologists. Now, they don't all agree as diehard as me that like this will make a break or make or break a couple, etc. But they all can see in line with what I'm saying, and that it does make sense astrologically. Now they, you know, so the point of the matter is that, I mean, a lot of my clients that know astrology pretty well, that can really go over charts with me, which is always really fun, to have a client like that, you know, because iron sharpens iron, and they respect me and still pay me, even though they almost know as much about it as I do, if not in other areas. And they're just coming to me, you know, for my feedback, you know, on what they're seeing. But I'm Aquarius and Cancer moon too, but Scorpio rising. Yeah, I've got to get back into the big 144 series so I can get to Aquarius and Cancer moon, the Scorpio rising. But my whole mission lately has been the database. Like, I don't want people coming to me like, is this person right for me? I don't want you guys to waste any more time on people that aren't right for you. I just want you to like enter the database and then, you know, just, you know, tell people about it. You never know, you might match your next door neighbor. You might match someone that lives in the city you've always wanted to move to, because, you know, your subconscious mind knew that your person was there, and now you guys can make it happen together as a team. Like, you know, like I said, it's just the continents right now. You can put your preference, but when you go to the auto match, it's by continent, so you can look on your continent. But anyway, I'm just going on and on about it because I'm really excited. So the celebrity thing, yeah, like I said, there's those stupid quizzes and it'll just pick a random celebrity, but this is actually celebrities that you have good astrology with. And all astrologists look into this because we just love data and samples. So, you know, a lot of them know a lot of celebrity charts, and you'll see like the ones that write the articles, they'll go on TV. There's that one lady, I like to listen to her. I can't remember, I haven't seen her in a while, but she goes on like the talk shows and stuff, which is sort of my dream as a kid, was to be like somebody like that. But I'm just too much of like a data nerd techie person and like this weird artist type. I like people, I love people, but then I'm like an extroverted introvert, INFJ type, you know what I mean? So I think I might be an INF, not the J, I don't remember. One of the letters might be different. So it's, I think the one that, no, I think Al Pacino and them are INFJ, or it's the one, anyway. So there's a few of you in here, so if anybody wants to ask me anything before I go, because I'm actually doing pretty good on time right now, so maybe I'll push it to like 5 my time. It's 4:55. Hey, okay, I love how you guys are giving me all your, Sun and Sag, or Scorpio Sun, Sag Moon, Virgo Rising. I love Virgo Risings because my moon is right there. Sag Moon, Scorpio Rising. Cancer, see, I have Cancer moons in here and Sag moons in here. I think the moon's the most important planet. So that's what always happens with CoStar too. So you guys know, if you go on divinetimingdatabase.com or you go to .org, whatever way, if you want to use the free database or you want to enter the database and be matched and go to the auto search, the calculations are more accurate than CoStar. CoStar rounds you to that day. So if you're a cusp baby or a cusp moon or a cusp ascendant, it's not actually giving you accurate. You know, I met this guy, he's like, I'm a double Leo double Leo Aries. I'm like, okay, so what? You're Aries rising with Leo moon? He's like, no, no, no. I don't know. He had to pull out his co-star and show me because you guys listed off to me, but I feel like you should list it rising, sun, moon. I don't even know how it is. So we have a quick view like that in Divine Timing Database Matchmaker where you can just click on your name once you're in with your matches and you can see, your sun, moon, rising. But yeah, so basically, he's trying to tell me that he was a double, like a Leo sun, Leo rising, Aries moon. I do believe he's an Aries moon, and I do believe he's probably a Leo rising. But I feel like he's a Virgo sun because he was right on the cusp. And he's like, no, no, no. It says in co-star I'm Leo. I know I'm on fire. I'm like, I don't know. He looks very much like a Virgo to me. But I'm weird. I don't know. So he would have to have at least a Virgo rising then. Maybe it's on that's on the cusp. And maybe he is a Leo and he's right. But so yeah, these calculations are more accurate than co-star. Yeah, and I mean, astrology goes back thousands and thousands of years. These theories that you're being based on, that astrologists have come to conclusions on, they just don't hold them down quite the way that I am. But it's very true that, moon compatibility is imperative for long-term coupledom. And, malefic deal breakers and divorce aspects you're not going to find in a lot of long-term marriages. And I always have people, do my parents, and I do them, and it usually proves true. Like the worst that happens is maybe it's like a sextile that we're not quite sure if it, Virgo, yeah, Virgos are good looking. I mean, every sign to me is good looking in their own way. But sometimes because people are so similar to me, it does get eerie, like a Taurus could look too much like another Taurus that I've dated, or a Sagittarius one time, because I'm an esthetician too. I don't know if you guys know that. So I had like a Sagittarius client one time that like morphed into another Sagittarius that I knew when I was doing their facial. And I go, are you a Sagittarius? Like, yeah. And then I had an Aquarius client once on the bed, and he goes, I'm technology, like joking about something. And I go, oh, you're an Aquarius. And then I had another client once, she said she was left-handed, and something had been coming up with a bunch of left-handed stuff at the time. Or no, maybe I asked, I don't know. So I feel like I knew her sign, but, oh, Venus, Mars. Yeah, so Venus conjunct Mars in Vedic astrology in the natal chart means you will have a love marriage. And I tend to find that people with Venus conjunct Mars in their natal chart are, and I don't say this a lot to clients because I do like quick readings, and we're talking about so many things. Oh, thank you for the love, you guys. But I usually, Venus conjunct Mars people very rarely are single. So I'll sometimes get like a woman in her late 40s or something that's like, when I haven't had a relationship in a while. But to me, I feel like it's like they took a break for a few years because they probably always were in one. Because most Venus conjunct Mars are always in, natally, are always in a relationship. But when they're single, they do fairly well also. Like they're pretty confident and secure in themselves because their masculine and feminine is pretty balanced. And it also depends, of course, on how it's being aspected. But like, if it's like trying the moon or something, they're pretty much always in a connection, but they very monogamous usually in long term because it is sort of like Venus and Mars. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. So they just are kind of good at choosing someone and just being holistically a partner and not really lacking. But also Venus conjunct Mars in a synastry connection, like especially a woman's Venus conjunct a man's Mars. You guys can go look for my videos on that. That's like one of the best romance aspects you can have besides like a moon conjunction or trine. So, that's a really enjoyable aspect. So that's the one thing, unfortunately. And I could, it's the auto feature is like, I mean, it's so brand new, but it can be tweaked. I could make it where it would only pull Venus conjunct Mars and the moon compatibility and no malefics and no yellow flags. But because we only have, a few thousand people at this point, and we don't have, maybe once it gets up to like 20,000 people in there, or even maybe 100,000, maybe then we'll want to narrow it down more if we have an issue where there's like, you've got 25 matches and we're trying to narrow it down more on that big of a population sample, but right now I don't think that's going to be an issue. So and it takes a little longer to tell it more commands. So anyways, I'm just like brainstorming with you guys on here. I'm really excited about it. So yeah, I mean, I got to get back to the big one for 4 so we can talk about your sun, moon, rising signs. Yeah. And, you know, I thought about jumping around a little because I started with Aries, double Aries, Aries, Aries moon. And then I think I ended at Libra. And then I had started Scorpio back when I started Libra, sun, Aries moon with, you know, all the different rising signs. And I can't find the original Scorpio video. I think I accidentally cleared it off when my storage was full. So I have to do it from scratch. I might just get on, like make a time each week. Videos are kind of long. They're like not like, it takes an hour and a half to go through because I start by for like 20 minutes, give or take, talking about just the sun and the moon. And then we go through all the rising signs, how it affects that. And so, yeah, it's at least an hour usually to do those. And it takes kind of a little bit of me thinking and hemming and hawing. Sometimes I'll pull resources just to kind of get, you know, an idea. So find your perfect astral match. You find your perfect astral match. So this person is just like some kind of bot, like being repetitive. Oh. Oh, no. Yeah, there was like some messages held for review. I might have to get moderators if I get on here enough. Can't quite read that. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, Pisces. We're going into Pisces season, so like I said, it's a good time to enter too based on my work because, you know, I have this grand water trine with my second, sixth, and midheaven. So we have, you know, Pluto to Lilith to Venus and Mercury. Mercury rules the 6th house traditionally. I have a Venus ruled chart and Venus exalted in Pisces. So relationships is, you know, Venus and Libra rising, so I'm not a bad Cupid. Actually, when I was a kid, I loved playing Cupid. Like on the playground, I was Cupid. I'd match my little friends up. So my friend Tony, who I knew, I shouldn't say names necessarily, but he's a Sagittarius, right? I'm an Aries. I knew him since the 2nd grade. I dated my high school sweetheart was his cousin actually, but we were just good friends, and I like got him in a little cute relationship with another girl that was my friend, and they were like this perfectly cute little innocent couple, you know, that just held hands for like 3 or 4 years, like into junior high or something. So I was just liked playing Cupid, matchmaker. My grandparents were married for 52.5 years, so I always love to hear the story of how they met. And, you know, I'm a hopeless romantic in that way, but I'm also very analytical and smart. So that's where it all ties together. You know, it's in my house of work, career, midheaven, and money. So it's just like a matter of, I don't know who's botting me out, why these are held for review. But I'm not going to worry about moderating right now. So now I'm just kind of getting spammed here, which hasn't happened before. So I'm going to, your IQ is 62. Mine's like in the 120s, but it's okay. Last I checked. So I'm not like a genius, but I kind of am sometimes. Anyways, a little socially awkward too. So now a few of you popped in here. You know, you're socially awkward when you have a Libra rising that's super social and gregarious, and then this Hermity Virgo moon that doesn't, you know, that likes to be in my little cave studying and researching. All right, you guys. So it says don't check again. I'm not sure, but I'm going to click off here, but I'll get back on tomorrow with something for you guys. Definitely check out the database. I'll put the links and everything below in the playback, and it's divinetimingdatabase.org. It's in the thumbnail of the video if you can read the cursive. All right. And, oh yeah, if you are single, or if you're in a relationship, but you know people, you can sign up for the affiliate link or just tell your friend, you know, if it's just like 1 or 2 people. You know, word of mouth spreads faster than anything. So it took 5 years and a lot of money to build this, and it just got done like the last week or two, that automated part. So, you know, I built it all and I was doing it manually. Now it's automated. So before, I feel like I was holding the brakes on it a little because I was worried that if it got out there too much, that too many people would flood in and I couldn't handle the capacity of it. Now it's able to do that automatically. So anyways, yeah. So I'm sending you all lots of love, blessings, and light as always. I'm going to get off. I'm going to see what's going on with all these comments. If you watch this on the playback or anything and you ever want to ask anything, just throw it in the comments and I'll like address it in, one of the future videos. I was trying to get on every day, 5 days a week around, I usually get on around 2 to 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Just like West Coast, United States. But lately it's been like once or twice a week if I'm lucky, but I'll get back in the groove. So yeah, if you have any questions or anything, let me know. Thank you, Sandal Phone 9. I'm glad you could join me. I look forward to, if you have anything, let me know. All right. Love and light.